So these are the results over the past couple of days. I've been running this bot. I've been running it on GBP USD. I put this bot on 2nd of January. So these are the results on 2nd. I think I put it on 2nd. Let me just check for fast. Yeah, we don't have any. So on 2nd, we made $13. On that, we lost money on that. On 4th, no trades were taken. However, you can see that we did have sell limit orders, as you'll see in the explanation. And then today, nothing yet. Okay, so but we do have 2 current open positions right now, so I'll be giving an update on this by the end of the week. So let's get into the strategy. This week's strategy comes from this YouTube channel to explain how the strategy works. So we have 2 scenarios, a sell and a buy. Focusing on the sell first. So what happens is, assuming our price is at this point, what happens is as price moves away from the moving averages. So we have 2 moving averages, the 9 and the 20. So as price moves away from the moving average in this direction, we start selling. So the assumption is that at some point price will come down and all the negative balance we've been getting because we are placing sell orders in the opposite direction of sell will all become profitable. So that is the sell. The buy is the opposite. So as price moves away from the EMAs, we keep buying, and then hopefully price will come up. So off the bat, you can see that this strategy has one issue. It assumes that the trend won't keep going up, and by the time the trend reverses, you've not been wiped out. Going back to his channel, as you can see, the more price goes up, the more he sells. So before anything, he doesn't have any form of risk management, which is quite worrying. So I will not recommend you to leave this as a bot trading without any form of risk management. However, I did make some adjustment to this strategy. So the first adjustment I made is, so assuming the price is at this point, we don't just do a sell. So instead, what we're doing is a sell limit. So how a sell limit works is, let me just explain. So this is how a sell limit works. It assumes that price will go up and then down. So in this case, what I've done is, if the price is at this place, the first thing I've done is giving you the option of setting the number of pips. So let's say the price is at this red line. So I've set a flexible value where you can say, I only want to make the sell limit if the price goes up by, whatever number of pips you want to choose. So let's say you want, when the price gets to this number of pips at this point, this is the place you want to do a sell limit. So this also gives you leeway to have like a flexible way of saying, if the trend is either strong enough or not strong enough, you want to be able to have control over when sell limits are placed. That was the first adjustment I made to that strategy. So the second adjustment was, I give you the ability to do multiple trades. If you go back to this, you see he's just randomly taking orders. So instead of doing it randomly, what I've done instead is I'm giving you the ability to set how many sell limits you want to place. So let's say this was the first one, then you want the second one to be here, the third one to be here, like that. So what I've done is, instead of doing it randomly, I'm giving you the ability to set how many pips you want incremented from this place. So if this was the original, so let's say this is the first. So if this is the first, we want to be able to do the second after X number of pips, the third, the fourth, like that. So we're doing this in terms of pipage. So this will be equal. I'm sorry, I have very poor design skills. So yeah, so this will be a flexible value where you can set how many you want to do, the number of sell limits you want to do at any given time when this first trade is triggered. So that was the first adjustment I made. The second adjustment I made is I also introduced take profit and stop loss. I introduced the TP and the SL. So that means every trade that will be triggered, if price gets to that place, you have the ability to add the TP and the SL. And so this also means you can be able to do a risk reward ratio that works for you. So you can decide an RR of 1:2. So that means for probably for every $1 you stake, you're hoping to make $2. So you can adjust this as well. The other adjustment I made is in his videos, going back here, you can see we have like another chart down here where it's using the volume and the EMA, although not explicitly stated that he's actually checking it to take all the trades. I've also given the ability for you to check whether the volume is below the EMA. So this red line is the EMA, and then these tick like figures are the volume. So what you want is if the EMA is above the volume, you can be able to take trades. So that was the second one. The last one was I also made a bot that can only be used during the Asian market, as that is when you have good price movement. So going to the actual strategies. So once you download them, they will come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They'll come in 5 bots. So the first one is the TP only. So this works like what he has. It only has a take profit. There is no stop loss. So this is the riskiest of them all. Please don't use this on a live market. In fact, don't use any of this on a live market. They need supervision. So let me just take you through the inputs. So MA1 and MA2, because he has 2 MAs. So the first one is the 9 and the 20. They're all applied to the close and they're all exponential with a shift of 0. So this value distance from MA1 in pips is what I was explaining here, that there's this distance over here. So whatever pippage you want to use, you'll put that here, and then increment open trades after every X pips. This is what I was explaining here, that you can have the number of trades you want, but they'll be spaced out according to the value you put in this. So the magic number is just a unique identifier for this specific bot. Make sure all the bots you have running do not share the same number. So this can be a random number. Just make sure other bots that you're running on the same account don't have the same number. So the lot size is the volume, maximum orders. So this is 1 by default. So in this case I used 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you wanted to make 4 of them, you can just change that value. So like I explained, this only has the take profit. So this is in pips. You can change this value to whatever you want. So this take trades, it's set to false by default. This means the bot will not take any trades when conditions are met. However, we do have also notifications. If you just want to use this as a signal, you can just turn notifications to true and then take trades to false. So that is the first variation. So notifications will look something like this. The second variation is the TP and the SL. So everything remains the same except that we have an SL. So this will set the stop loss in pips. So you can see this is a risk reward ratio of 1:2. The other variation we have is the SL and the volume. So everything remains the same. The only difference here is that going back to his code is we are checking whether this MA is below the volume. That is the only difference with this one. So for example, like at this place, you can see the volume is greater than the MA line. So that means at this point, we will not have been taking any trades. But at this point, we will have, as long as the price has moved to the number of pippage you set. So that is the same. Also, all of them come as a default. They do not take any trades. The other variation we have is the Asian one. So this is the same, exactly the same as the TP-SL volume, but this works for the Asian market only. So when we're not on the Asian market, you can see bot is outside Asian hours, so it's not active. And the last one is the trailing stop loss. So how this works, it's the opposite of the take profit only. So going back to this example here, if you look at, let's say we got in the trade at this point, this was our first one. So instead of us having a take profit such that when the price gets to this place, we exit the trade, the difference here is that we put a stop loss that's by default 5 pips below the entry position. So whenever price moves by another 5 pips in this direction, we move the stop loss to that new price. So we're always trailing it by whatever number of pips. So the only way this price will ever be exited is if the price comes down and then hits this place, hits the stop loss, sorry. So for this, it would make more sense to turn this into a buy. It would make more sense to make this a buy. However, for the stop loss limit, because you're sticking to the sell, once this has been hit, the take profit is on the opposite side. It's up here, such that once price starts to come down, it hopefully won't hit your stop loss. Number one. Number two, that's pretty much it. So the other thing I've done is I put the bot on a VPS, for specifically the one with TP and SL volume. For my backtest, this was the best performing one. So if you'd like to follow along on those signals, you can join my Discord and join the bot one channel.